the first week of March, and we're out doing our spring turkey scouting. And the great thing about getting out off the couch and in the woods this time of year is not only do you get to find the early spots for your birds, but you get to see some late winter travel patterns and travel corridors and sign for your whitetails. And we have come across a neat little place here. We come out here to this morning and listened for a couple birds on the roost, these early risers. And we didn't hear any birds this morning, but what we did find is a really neat point coming off this hardwood ridge here. And I'll show you here what I'm looking at. There's an old logging road that we're walking here back on this ridge. We come in and parked the Ranger here early this morning and walked out and listened. And shoot, we just about run right over top of this little spot. And what it is there's a hardwood ridge up top here, and the trail's just coming off this point. Well, it's a natural pinch. There's almost a cliff that runs along this road here that's going to prevent them deer from coming up and down. Now on the sides, and you got a flat that runs out this way, so anything traveling this flat, it's got to come off this point right here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Man, it's a highway running through here, and kind of a neat little spot. I think we're going to have to take a look at this when we get back home and see just exactly where we're at. And I can see myself running a mineral site and a camera here this summer.
We're going to go with Pro Staffer Ross Mellinger, and actually Ross's entire family, on a deer that became very special to us here at Game Over Outdoors. It was a situation where Ross had located this deer early in the summer, and I remember the phone call that I got from Ross. He immediately said, "I really like for Logan, Ross's son, to shoot this deer."
All right, we got Trigger Man into the new spot here, and again, this is a new spot we kind of developed over the spring and summer, and we've got a hog of a deer. I mean, he is a stud, a deer that we nicknamed Sweet Tooth, and he's appropriately named because as soon as we leave, after we drop him the candy and the groceries off, he's always here within 2 or 3 hours, and he basically lives in it.
So Ross called me one day, and you could just hear the angst in his voice, how much he wanted Logan to shoot this deer. And we had a phone conversation, actually a rather lengthy conversation, and I did my very best to talk him out of it. A deer of this caliber just doesn't come around every day, and quite frankly, I wasn't sure that a 14-year-old could handle it, even though Logan is a very accomplished hunter for his age. And against my advice, Ross decided to do what good dads do. He put Logan on him.
coolest week we've had all week. Coolest day. It's dropped about 7 to 8 degrees. So hopefully that'll get him moving a little bit. But the only bad thing is there's been a full moon the past 2 days, so it's gonna be pretty bright tonight. So I'm not sure if he'll move, but we'll find out soon.
And as disappointed as they were that Logan couldn't quite make it happen, when you know it, Ross decided to back out, wait on another cold front, and sure enough, put him on Logan again. Now, unfortunately, this time, Sweet Tooth didn't show. So, I think that was the moment that Ross realized this needs to happen quickly before he gets to chasing some does, and next thing you know, he's gone for the year.
Forecast is showing that the wind is supposed to die down about 4 o'clock, which will give us about a little more than 3 hours set this evening. So what we're going to do is slide in here quietly and just enjoy the evening. My experience is that the back end of these fronts, when they move out and the temperature drops and the clouds break, things tend to get on their feet a little bit earlier. And this deer, Sweet Tooth, he's a last minute kind of guy. He's either the last 20 minutes of daylight or he's the first 20 minutes of dark. So I'm hoping the plan that we're putting together this evening is that with the cold front moving out and the temperature dropping, he's going to be on his feet a little bit early. So as my good friend Nathan Taylor says, you plan your hunt and you hunt your plan, and that's what we're doing this evening. So we're going to get ourselves in the stand, get positioned, and if nothing else, I might give myself a little cat nap. Perfect evening coming off the back end of this cold front. Temperatures dropped about 10 degrees. clear skies, no wind. And he come right down that logging road just like we hoped. Clearly I was low. Went back and looked at the footage, and it's I'm just sick. I'm just absolutely sick. All right, we're back here on stand after last night's catastrophe, and to say it was a long night's an understatement. Looked at the footage over and over. Joe's seen it, Jeremy's seen it, and definitely not the way we wanted it to happen, but it may not be as bad a hit as we thought. Obviously it's less than ideal, but we're looking at let's see, we're looking at 14 hours.
14, yeah.
Well,
14
yeah,
hours.
14 hours since the shot. Didn't even bother looking for blood last night. So got the arrow, and the arrow is telling us exactly what we suspected. It's all paunch. It's all stomach. Hopefully we got a little piece of the liver on the way in, but you know, he's hurt bad. We backed out, and it's time to put the feet on the ground and get to marching.
Well, here we are, 100 yards later, and definitely one long sleepless night, and April can vouch for that. I tossed and turned all night, and I studied and I read, and you know, I don't make a practice of paunch shooting whitetails, but it proved positive. It happens to the best of us, and it is a good testimony to what you do post-shot, and you know, short of wanting to jump out of the tree stand last night or hang myself, I was able to hold it together long enough to remain in the stand 30 minutes before I ever climbed down. I never even bothered looking for blood. You know, post shot I could see him going out to flat just a little piece. He was hunkered up, you know, typical paunch shot, and I knew I didn't want to push him. You know, I got out just as quietly as I come in, and I think that's an aspect that a lot of hunters probably overlook. Even if you don't shoot a deer, you know, is getting out of your stand and leaving just as quietly as you come in. It's just as important. Sometimes it's more important, especially in an evening type set, because you don't want to spook any approaching deer. But